Greetings, free agent. You have now entered into a community for community environment where we support and help each other build our teams and build alliances where we can complete missions and share our accomplishments with those that are our teammates, that we can share information about important events, important material that we may be seeking or we want to share with others. And this is Great Works Alliance. At Great Works Alliance, inspiring and empowering the hero within. Do you have what it takes to engage in your matrix? This is not your simple golden egg hunt. Ready to be challenged? Great Works Alliance, celebrating and empowering the people through interactive, engaging, and optimizing quests and missions. We are seeking players to join our development and growth in tech community service meshing. Our platform. Welcome to our portal. This is a place for your questions to be answered and your passions to be ignited. All allies, creative spirits, entrepreneurs, community organizers, and advocates are invited to the orientation meeting every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's this meeting right here. We hope you will join this meeting to learn more about our platform and how you can do more. With our platform, you are a part of a help desk community. We are building and sharing tools to help organize people and organizations and give guidance to those requesting assistance, directing them to the appropriate advocate. You and any other agent logged in will be able to add to the data repository and organize efforts with a tracking system, team layout and linking, collaboration, and other features. We at Great Works Alliance are here to provide our guests, players, and agents with a lot of different services and assistance. At this point in time, however, we are in beta testing and we are seeking more developers to join our team. Will you accept the mission? Are you ready to join the quest? Our mission. The mission of Great Works Alliance is to build a community-centric social network, collaboration, and referral platform, enabling ease of access to community resources, extended services, and community leaders, activating the user's full potential through fun gamification, interactive engagement, and meritocracy, inspiring and empowering the hero within. Are you ready to play your game? The challenges are diverse and the competition is stimulating. With project leaders, manage and track missions, which are tasks, and enrich your own and others' experience through virtual training, connections, critical thinking, and sense-making tools. Play shall begin the process of establishing fun gamification of realities to expand the community dynamics and desire to connect with others within the local area, starting small but expanding globally. We will do this via virtual reality simulations and virtual overlay programs, including but not limited to daily activities, creative events, and gatherings in your community. Click each tile to be transported to your next mission. And for those of you who have already completed mission 1 and mission 2, you are here at the orientation meeting, which will offer directions on how to participate in our help desk. So currently, we have our beta testing help desk, Coalition4, that's the number 4, protection.org/help desk. That's right up here. So this is where we start doing our beta testing. And we are building teams and sharing information with different organizations and groups and advocacy in all areas. and we invite you to participate. And so, with that, I would like to welcome today's players that have joined us and say hello to everyone. Good evening, ladies. Hello, this is Lyra.
Is it better?
I can
Better?
hear you now. Yes, good job.
Different
Hi, Miss
device.
Lyra. Oh, unbelievable.
Hi, Mary.
Hello,
How are you doing?
Stressed.
Yes, I understand. Well, I'm wondering what you think of what I presented there at the beginning for the updates on the website.
No, it was good. I really liked I got on the game planning you had. By the way, you look beautiful tonight. Radiant. Anyway, I finally got it. You know, the game planning or the game, where you got the game on.
Right,
And
that's
now,
this one here. Let me.
yeah.
So this is what
Yeah.
Mary's talking about. This is where we
Yeah,
have.
because I missed the first part of that, and I like anything that has to do with the game.
Oh, Carol. God bless
Hi.
you, honey. How are you?
Good, you?
I'm all right.
You're going through.
Awesome. So what I wanted to share with everyone today is a little bit about what we've updated for the game plan, team players, and team missions. Now, this is in response to gamer developers that have been asking for a storyline, right? And so we put some thought into this. And in 2007, when I had my son with me and my daughter, I was writing. I was doing children's books and studying children's books and how to write children's books. And one of the books was, I'll present it in a moment, but what we've decided is that for the purpose of starting this off to get people interested in a game scenario that's going to eventually transfer over into reality, we first want to start with looking for people who are tech savvy individuals to bring in this virtual reality like presentation that we're putting together with the game. So we've published invitations and we're looking for these people. We've had several people, and even one tech company has reached out to us recently. So we have Civil X that's looking at the framework we've put together and trying to correlate that with the VR reality that they have going. And then there's Plan Systems, which we've talked to and will be talking more with. There's also a developer through Unity that is looking at this game plan and how he can help. And so, you know, we're starting to bring in more and more tech people that want to be involved in the development of this whole VR type simulation and game. So we begin this game by adding the ticket entries to initiate challenges, which we've shared, and that is through our site, which I shared a little bit ago, for our help desk, Coalition4Protection /help desk, and you can open a new ticket, and then as a player, you can also become an agent. So you are an agent and you would sign in here and you would click on I'm an agent and sign in here. And then you put in your information and you are then going to be notified of tickets that you have selected for teams that you're involved with. When you're when you're within the system, it's not like you're going to be flooded with a whole bunch of requests and missions that you don't have experience with. We want to be able to provide some organization to the needs that are present within our community environments. In order to do that, we have our skills and merit evaluation. And when you fill that out, it basically gives us an idea what your strengths and your skills are, what your passions are. And then we can, from there, help you build your teams up. And so the next section I wanted to share within this for the game plan that has been added is we're looking to challenge people, bring them in positive challenges of growth and expansion of knowledge and in information and networking. And the game will begin as a competition for setting up virtual simulation worlds on one sector. So we have our OS ticket system, which we provide through our site, Coalition4Protection.org, which is not wanting to open now. So, and then we are working on this on the other end. And so the OS ticket is our beta test and our starting ground. You're challenged to inspire personal and civic engagement while improving sense-making skills through imagination and ingenuity. And what are we looking for? We are looking for character animators, VR reality, relatability, challenging tasks and innovative ways of solving them, interaction with others, and choices along the journey. Golden eggs. We're talking about taking Final Fantasy to a new level in reality. Make Mission Impossible challenges and create individual codes for players who wish to register anonymously. Now, we could say this is a framework and people understand what a framework is and what a platform is for the most part, but we're talking about even deeper layers here. This is about being able to do simulation before actually making a decision also. This is to help people learn what their choices end up in, what happens when they make a certain choice within their whatever path they might be in. And if more people didn't have to say, I wish I had known that before I went down this road, but actually be able to simulate it and simulate the choices made before actually going out and doing, making their choices in life, then we wouldn't have so many people saying hindsight is always 2020. And so we want to be able to look at this in layers of helping people, lifting them up, but also enabling families and parents and children and everyone the opportunity to test their theories out before actually going out there and doing something. Nobody wants to be hurt. I mean, we're all looking for the most optimal outcome when we go and do anything. And so if we can bring people into a virtual simulation system where they can test their theories out before going out in the real world and doing it, then we're saving everybody a lot of time and energy. And it makes for people being in a better state of mind, which then improves the quality of their life and the quality of life of those around them. At least that's our understanding of it. So what we've done is we've said, okay, we got to have a storyline. We got several different storylines that we developed for gamer developers to review. And the first one is actually based on a story I wrote in 2007 called Quantum Quinn and the Night Mirror, which you can click on this link and it'll take you to that story. That story is about 11 pages long. And what we want to do is develop this character of Quantum Quinn, and then anybody who's a player can come in and go on a journey with Quantum Quinn through what's called the Night Mirror. So player enters virtual reality as an explorer in a dream with Quantum Quinn. In this dream, this avatar, say it's a black horse, has that was a stuffed animal in the room, comes to their bed and invites the player to take a ride through a magical mirror. Once the player enters the mirror, they're traveling through a wormhole to meet with Dr. Quantum. Dr. Quantum teaches the player the basics of quantum physics. Now, for those of you who don't know who Dr. Quantum is, Dr. Quantum is a cartoon character in the television movie, documentary. I'm not sure what you want to call it. It's called What the Bleep Do We Know? That's, I mean, so there you go. And Dr. Quantum broke it down for children to understand what quantum physics is all about and how they came to the theory and the determinations and understandings of quantum entanglement and so forth. So
I read that.
that was like a way to bring it in. Yes, Sarah.
Is there any infringement rights on using the name Dr. Quantum since it's already used? Does it belong to somebody else?
Not that I have seen, but I can double check on that.
Out?
Mm-hmm.
You should check that out. See if there's a legal ramifications for using Dr. Quantum.
Yeah,
it may be copyrighted. It might be copyrighted or something.
When I wrote this story, there was no copyright that I found, and that was in 2007.
But the story was already out, right?
Yeah.
So does your Dr. Quantum have to look and sound and be like the original Dr. Quantum, or is it a totally different character?
It should look and sound like Dr. Quantum. And my plan with this is to bring it to the people who created that movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? I was a student at Ramtha School of Enlightenment, and that is one of the interviewees that was on What the Bleep Do We Know? And she's a channel for.
I know her.
You know her, okay? So you know Jay-Z Knight.
Well, I know I have never met her, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Jay-Z?
I had quite a phenomenal and bizarre, and it was a mixed bag experience. But what I got from the movie was a little more tangible, I believe, than what they were teaching at the school. But, you know, I don't want to go too much into that because it's just to each their own. That's all I will say on that. Anyway.
So my point is you still might need to get a release.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you know, and again, this is also something that can be brought to the production crew and writers probably. So I'm going to write on here, check to see about copyright.
Or just a release.
Release.
A release, yeah.
Okay.
My sister did a commercial with, you know, I mean, she worked for a video company and was the producer director. And they did a commercial for Trojan when they were going to take Trojan down. And there was a cow in a field. They didn't have a release for that cow, and the farmer sued and got $40,000.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
It's a good lesson. Yeah, got to check. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like our first main storyline. I mean, we can say Professor Quantum if it's going to be copyright issue, but I mean, I would start,
That might make a better idea. That might make it a better idea.
well, I'll start with looking to see about a copyright release and see if I can't get them to sign off on it.
Better yet, maybe they would like to invest.
Well, and that was the idea. That was the idea. And if you read the story, I think you'll get a kick out of it and giggle a little bit. And it's just, you know, it's a children's story. But you know, we decided that that would be like a starting point, and then after this initial meeting, the player would be able to take journeys through the mirror in dream time, like in virtual dream time, we'll say, to all sorts of worlds and environments. They're met with challenges in fixing their personal circumstances, town, environment, from one of instability and disorder to one of stability and sense. The player can choose to explore different choices on their own personal path of learning through simulated reality experiments, like I was saying earlier. This is about, do you guys ever remember the books that came out that you read a chapter and at the end of the chapter you were given an option what choice to make? Like there would be 3 to 4 different choices. Should you choose to go into the pub or go to the stable or go down this path that looks a little scary? And that would then transport you to a different chapter to complete your story. So you were participating in creating that story, right? So this is taking that even more to a higher level. I know that Netflix has done something similar to this. They actually have a series out right now. I forget if it Dark Sky or Dark Waters, something like that, I think. But you know, then we came up with a couple of other examples of scenes and scenarios. Another example we came up with was that a player enters a city or neighborhood where bullets are randomly shot around the corner and chaos and disorder reigns. The game offers them tools to transform a scene of destruction into one of peaceful engagement. These tools can include infrastructure, civic actions, construction tools, and other tools to create positive ripples of change within the scene. The reward is knowledge and information that can be applied in the real world. And then we have our example 3. Player enters a world where everything is off balance, blurry, upside down, and such, like physically off balance. The objective is to find the right frequency to harmonize the environment. Some of the actions will be literal frequency tools, while like instruments and stuff, while other actions will include tools of harmonic infrastructure, civic actions, construction tools, and other tools to create positive ripples of change within the scene. The reward, again, is knowledge and information that can be applied in the real world. And then for our example 4, we have a player that enters a world where most all of the people are zombies. The player's objective is to seek out others that are not zombies, build their teams, and transform the zombies into functioning, productive members of the community. Some tools, again, include the infrastructure, civic actions, construction tools, and other tools to create positive ripples of change within the scene. And the reward is knowledge and information that can then be applied to the real world. And so that's what we've done for the update of the player game plan, team players and team missions, for the tech developing community to think about, you know, develop on these concepts and scenes that we're talking about. And I would love to hear what you guys think of those.
Well, I think the idea is fabulous. The idea of having a place where shots are going off, that means that the kids are actually seeing that, and as they see that, it throws them into fight or flight. And so I would say, whoa, there's a cockroach that's like this big, just walking up to my foot.
Oh my
Hello.
God.
Yeah, it's big enough we can have a conversation. Anyway, they don't scare me. You get used to them here. So anyway, boy, that's big though. It looks like a mouse. It's so big. Anyway, the idea is it throws us, every time we see a shot or hear an explosion, fire, it throws us into fight or flight. Turns off our immune system, puts out cortisol, our stress hormone, it triggers the adrenals to send blood to our hands and our feet. And when we're in that situation all the time, then it's going off all the time. So I recommend that anytime you're approaching kids or anybody really, that it not include something that's going to throw them into that state. Because what Daniel Brinkley says is, you remember every blade of grass you ever saw. So this is something that's putting it into their psyche forever. Okay, I don't want to kill you, but you're coming right for me. Okay, there you go. It was almost under my foot. What could I do? But I didn't. It didn't come close enough. But anyway, that's my feedback, is to do it in such a way that you can maybe allude to it without showing it, without having the sounds of the violence.
We could have age restrictions on these games too. There
Well,
are
you
going
know,
to be
I'm 68, almost 69. I don't want it in my psyche either,
right,
right?
but
We already have enough of the immune system being shut off by the mask.
right. And we have a lot of people that are exposed to this type of situation that don't have the tools to change what's going on in their neighborhood. And so they're going to come in, they're already exposed to gunshots all the time. And
I
that
love
kind
the
of doesn't
concept.
phase them. And this is about being able to have a diverse game model or several game models that can use the
No,
same
the
framework.
concept is great. The concept is great. And I think there's a way to do it where you imply that that's going on. Like I'm listening to something right now by Deborah Tavares, who does stopthecrime.net. And she's telling all about what's going on with the fires and the weaponry and everything. But is she showing pictures of them? No, it's not in my psyche. I just know that it's happening. So there might be a way of doing it in a way that they, you know, that's the difference between using our imagination and seeing it,
Right,
you know,
for sure.
and hearing it, you know, having the whole picture, you know,
Yep.
just knowing, okay, we're doing good and we're going to go after good. It's a different modality, because everything we see today shows the bad,
Right.
right? Shows the pow, the fires, the explosions. And there's a way to do it where it just is implied that it's there, but you're just working for good, and to show the outcome of what happens when you're working for good. There's a way to do it. That's all I'm saying.
And so this is for sure like some of the development that we want to encourage when we're talking to people who are developers in the tech community, and be able to come across with this type of there has to be an engagement, understanding, and recognition of what's going on. Like, even if you're in a virtual reality, there's going to be something that's going to cue you into whether or not you're losing power, like you're losing your life points because you're taking a dangerous path, and that dangerous path is basically drawing out your life force. That's another aspect we want to be able to show within this game environment, so that people understand what it really takes to be a positive force of good in the world, and how it puts more energy within us. Like, we then are absorbing the effects of a positive progression within ourselves and within the engagement that we have within our communities. And whereas when you're in a negative scenario and you're being beat on all the time, the energy is literally being sucked from you because you're being beat on and you're still stuck in this situation. Okay, I personally have been in that situation. I personally was a victim. Now I'm a veteran of domestic violence. And it is because I saw that my power was being taken away by somebody else who did not have the right to do it. And I didn't know that I had the right to stand up and say, you don't have a right to do that to me. Now, because of my continued learning and discovery, which took years and years and years, I have now regained my power and establishing my own self-will and autonomy and ability to do and say the things that I want to. I mean, that story, Quantum Quinn and the Nightmare, yes, I wrote it in 2007. I never got it published. I never got it published because I was trapped. I couldn't go and find the publisher. I couldn't go and get, in contact with these people because I was constantly being drawn away by the abuser and told to do something else or he was going to hurt me. It was like all about him and what he needs and his needs. And that's called narcissism. And we could go into that, but I don't want to talk about that.
No, but I invite you, Lyra, I invite you to take another perspective that you didn't publish it because the timing wasn't right. And right now it would be much better because what we're fighting now is real reality, and it's not just guns going off. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's the fires, it's the virus, it's the planning of the 13 families. It's huge. How do you combat something that is so big that it's bigger than government, that's in charge of all the governments? Now you see, I mean, you got your feet wet in planning it, but it is so much more magnanimous than it would have been then. So it's all about, timing. So that in actuality, I invite you to take a look at, now is the perfect time, because now it can really make a difference. It can really make a difference, right?
Yeah.
It's huge.
I think so. Yeah.
No, because when I was sitting here before you ever even showed it, and all you said game, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool to have a game where people, where there were all these horrific things happening in the world that are really happening, and how would, on a quantum level, how would intelligent people go about counteracting that?
Right.
And that's basically giving the people the possibility of using their intelligence to see how they could counteract that, and who comes up with the best idea, who comes up with the best frame, right? Right now, Q's doing a great job of what they're creating as far as a mindset of the possibilities of counteracting some of this evil stuff. Whether it's true or not, it could be a big game, just like in landmark education, it could just be a game, but it's a good one.
Well,
so it's, along those lines.
There's indie developers out there that are currently working with Unity and other gaming developing software out there that are looking to provide, a community forum and creation building blocks. So we're looking at the Burning Man camps. They have their tech development camps they do. I forget exactly what it's called. And so we've put out a request to them. Like I say, we have a developer from Plan Systems that we're talking with. We have a single Unity developer who's very interested in getting involved. And then Civil X with Jordan, he's already done a lot of development on his end for connections and stuff. So it's all about bringing in that fun part, but also that challenge part. You know, it's like we're inviting you as a participant, as a player, to take this challenge, to build yourself up and build others up when you're taking this challenge. And so, you know, if we can just get developers to work on that level of understanding that this also relates to reality. It's not just science fiction anymore, but we can start out in science fiction because like that one example I use, there's a lot of zombies out there. and they're real zombies, and we can all say, hey, that's a zombie right there. But how can we wake these zombies up? We see movies and shows like ad nauseum, let me say, about killing zombies. Like, we're fighting against the zombies. We have to kill them to save ourselves and survive and stuff. Those zombies are brain-eating zombies. Okay, what's happening here in reality, from what I have seen, is that the brain-eating zombie is the television.
I can hear you, but
So here's Nate. So yeah, I was.
Hello. Hi, Nate. Did you go by Nathan or Nate?
It doesn't matter.
Nate or Nathan?
It doesn't matter.
Nate.
What's your favorite?
But Nathan.
What's your favorite?
Is his full name.
Nathan, thank you. There we go. Decided to get cool.
Yeah, well, we have to. That's bizarre. Yeah. The computer just told us that we're disconnected, and I'm not quite sure how that works.
We may have been still connected to the hot.
And I would like to see about getting you to schedule a day where we can actually.
This week is good. Well, actually, even tonight is okay. But I don't know what your schedule. You look like you're all dolled up to go somewhere. So.
I'm all dolled up for this meeting, sweetheart.
Oh.
Let's pick another night other than tonight that works for you, Sarah.
Yeah. Tuesday's probably good.
Tuesday's a good day for us.
Yeah, I can't promise for sure, but right now Tuesday's looking good.
Okay.
What time? Hello. Hello.
I am checking.
I can talk to it. It talks back. What?
I know we have one meeting on Tuesday right now. I'm trying to remember who it's from and what time. So I'm looking it up.
Okay. And I'll tell you what I'm looking for. You know, we're trying to get this NGO up and running. And what we're running into is she's run out of money to do the very last things that need to be done to make it official so that we can start getting donations and grants. So we need to know, you know, and very, you know, she needs to get people off of the directors. Some of the directors have to, but she's having trouble getting them off so that she can put others on, so that she can get a bank account. Once she gets a bank account and gets official, then the money can start rolling in. And this is to help single parents in every situation, abuse situations, eviction situations, hunger situations, etc. So this is right up your alley. And what we're looking for is that last shot of money just to get it official, because once it's official, I do believe we can bring the money in through all sorts of different avenues. So yes. I'm looking for help for that.
Well, and that's why we became official. I mean, we're officially registered in the state of Wyoming. So as long as we are on line and getting donations online, we can receive donations while being registered. So that's this donate button. I know it's a little faded here when you look at this page until you get to the top. At the top, it's visible. But Yeah, I don't know why that isn't matching up. This is what happens when we are just putting together a primary presentation package for large donations and large sponsorships. And we're at that stage now where we can present almost, I'm sorry, I will we're still working on a few sections. Mary, I don't know if you have looked at what I did on your sheet development, but I added multiple tabs for the different community sectors. So each community sector has its own tab, and there's a listing specific to whether it's a nonprofit. So on the left-hand side, you'll be able to put the organization and the contact information, and then along the row, you'll be able to select whether it's a nonprofit or a government entity or for-profit, whether or not they have volunteers, whether or not they offer scholarships or free tutorials and stuff. And then there's a section also on each of those pages for ranking, because you know.
I went to get on it and start. I started with my church, and I just got called off and had a family emergency, and never got
Don't
back to it.
worry about
I'm
it.
waiting for I'm waiting for some lockdown time, but I don't.
Lockdown was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Huh?
Lockdown was pretty cool, wasn't it?
I never went into lockdown.
Oh, we did.
No. Anyway.
But don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'll.
I just am helping you, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, I seen what you did. So thank you for that, and it's very simplified, So
Awesome.
That
was the idea, to make it simple for you to be able to understand and use as you need to for what you're organizing in there.
I barely know that it's an excellent program. It's an excellent platform. It's very intelligent. It's very edifying to anybody that gets involved, or any group,
Oh, I'm so excited. I got a new program that I'm learning right now, and I'm going to be able to make badges and buttons, and I'm going to hopefully be able to present those next weekend for review and discussion. We are using the which is it, VIC? Character traits.
Oh.
The virtues.
Is this a little bit like Girl Scouts?
Sure. I mean, on a simplistic level, that's part of it, because the skills section will be little badges for skills and competence and accomplishment of up training. So, each player comes in with a certain set of skills that they've registered in the skills and merit evaluation form. So that would be their starting point with the badges. And then as they continue playing the game and playing and connecting and collaborating and building their teams and, completing missions, they will receive other badges of recognition, whether those badges of recognition are for skills and for your character traits and your virtues. So, it's going to be that kind of dynamic representation, showing whether a person has courage, in taking on a challenge. There you get a badge for taking on that challenge that was difficult. You had courage to do that, so you're going to get a badge for courage, and so forth.
Like singing karaoke?
If it's got a message and it's community related.
The underlying root would be required context of the spirit of intent behind whatever the action is.
Aha.
Yeah.
It's about as far away as we have been able to fashion and manage and research from trivial badging, where it's just superficial, right? We want to anchor things with values for what they really are and help provide a pathway for people to learn the value of things that they may not know to value
In themselves.
right
And in others. You know, everybody has value, but a lot of people don't even know that they have value because nobody's telling them that they have value. And that again is that energy being sucked away from
Well, and beyond that, a lot of people don't feel that they have value because of a message they got before they were 6 years old. And that is in the subconscious, and the only way to get rid of that is to go back to where it was laid in the first place. It's like you can't go to a cassette player and yell edit. It doesn't work. You have to go back to where you first recorded it and then edit and re-record over it. And so a lot of these things where, you know, we don't feel worthy, it comes from a message that came from way back when, and then it just gets layered on and layered on and layered on. And so it's not just about encouragement, it's about how can we set up ways to go back and get rid of that previous programming.
that cancel clear you taught me back in. I remember that still.
Wow, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we're.
Boy, I need a little teaching from you, Carol.
Well, she's talking about anytime you say something that, you know, is, you know, because our words create, like I hate this or I'm going to die or whatever, we just say cancel clear and we cancel that thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I believe that you know, it's all in what you speak is what you live, you know.
Absolutely.
Or what you get,
Part of that
you know, it's
quantum-
all in the
which is part
power
that
of the
quantum
tongue.
game, which is part of that
Yeah.
quantum game.
Yeah.
I love the idea of the quantum game.
Right? You can go anywhere with that. That mirror can take you to the minuscule or to the macrocosm of the universe, you know, and anywhere in between. And that's why it's so exciting to be able to present that and get that up and running. And, you know, it was just a matter of thinking about, okay, how are we going to make this relatable? Because we have to make it relatable and interesting and grab our audience, right?
And you have a much larger audience now who is starting to get into quantum physics than before. So, you know, it's just better timing all the way around. I would never lament 1 second over not doing it sooner.
I was crying when I read it yesterday. When I read it to Nate, I was crying because this was a story that I wrote for my son who was learning quantum physics at the age of 4.
How old is he now?
He's 16.
So now the real joy is he could actually take part in developing it.
Unfortunately, I can't talk to him. I can't
Still?
talk to any of my children. I have not been able to.
Do you have to wait till he's 18?
Yeah.
Has he tried to get a hold of you?
No, he's upset with me because his father poisoned his mind.
Oh, exactly.
And so did CPS. CPS helped in that.
And that happened at 4?
No, he was 7 when that started.
So
But
he was
the
just coming
story
into his
was
conscious
published
mind, but most of it was laid before he was coming into his conscious mind.
Yes.
And so So that's part that has to go back and rewrite the tape.
Yep.
Reset it.
And it's going to take a lot of effort. My inner strength and understanding and knowingness is we are connected whether we are able to communicate or not. And when the time is right and he is ready, he will come and seek me out. And that is what I have to accept in order for me to be able to be the best that I am. You know, I can't be distraught all the time because I don't have my children with me. I have to continue living my life and flourishing because that is my testament to my children that no matter what challenge that they are faced with, they can still rise to the occasion. Anybody can still rise to the occasion and be the best person that they truly are. And, you know, it may take encouragement from others and teamwork and team building. I'm a Reiki master of over 20 years, and so I have a lot of inner strength, but I had to go through a lot of pain and challenges to get to where I am and be able to say, I'm a strong woman. I'm out here to slay the dragon. Not everybody can say that.
Yeah.
And, you know, but
How many
we
kids
want
do
to
you
be able
have,
to
Lyra?
support everybody who's downtrodden, that doesn't feel they can do that. Because when we work together and we build our teams and we build our networks and we go for that same common goal without distraction and you know, we follow the spirit of intent of treat others as you would be treated and do good in the world because it comes back to you, we'll be able to do anything, accomplish any of our challenges and missions and quests that are out there. And
How
I
many
want to be able
kids
to
do you
support them.
have?
I'm sorry?
How many kids do you have, children?
3.
That's sad. It's sad. I've seen it time and time again, exactly what you're going through and went through. How CPS and the bad parent that they give the custody to poisons them against the good parent, you know?
They did that a number of times to my kids. They pretty much yanked them anywhere they could for any length of time, and they never gave them back to me despite my stability and my ability to rise to the occasion and provide for. I had a house, I had, you know, it was like I had a stable income, and I was still denied because they wanted to say my disability precluded me from being able to take care of my children. My children are the, you know, the higher end commodity in this world now, unfortunately, because
Yeah, they're for sale.
They are white, blonde hair, blue eyed children, you know, very intelligent, very adaptable. And so it was not in CPS's best interest to bring the children back to me. It was in my children's best interest. It was in my best interest, but not CPS's, and they had the control switch. So, you know, what can I do? I can do everything I'm doing and charge forward and say, fuck this shit.
Right.
Not me. That's what I do every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were going to have some other players join us tonight. I wonder where they went. Well, that's okay. You know, it's every week is a different group of people. We have had meetings where there've been nothing but men and meetings where there've been nothing but women, and then joint meetings, and it's just all about connecting and collaborating and talking and developing this. You are a part of the development team here by joining these meetings and and letting me share with you what we've been developing, and then asking, I want your input. We want your input. We're here to build this all together because it's a community for community project. Community for community. Everybody is important in a community, and their contributions are all important. And so, I'm glad that you're here to share your contributions. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going.
And in closing this meeting, I would like to say that our beta test is through Coalition4Protection.org. That's this website here. And when you click on the help desk, it will take you to that lovely squirrel there that says, remain calm. All is well. And we're here to help. We are here to help. And if you are just wanting to request some assistance, an advocate or other kinds of assistance, you can create your ticket up here, like I was showing earlier. Open a new ticket and you will get a ticket number, which you can then come back and check on your ticket status with.
Yeah.
So I have a question about this.
Sure.
Okay, so that's different than the greatworksalliance.com.
Greatworksalliance.com is the platform. We're using Coalition4Protection as our beta testing grounds. People from other sites can also use the link when they are a part of the affiliate program, so that they can also send people to this help desk. Like I was saying at the beginning, this is a community help desk. What Great Works Alliance is the backdrop.
Okay, so it's the umbrella. It's
Yes.
the umbrella.
Right.
Okay. So the question is, when you're at Great Works Alliance, is there a link to coalitionforprotection.net, or do you have to go there separately?
At this point in time, I don't think I have put a link in for Great Works Alliance. I mean, for
It should be
Coalition.
in one of the spreadsheets.
It's going to be, right?
Yes.
That's what we're looking at. What
Yeah.
we're working on right now. So
Which-
like,
It will be in one of the spreadsheets, Carol, where you could click on the link and it'll bring you right into the squirrel.
Okay, so for right now,
Keep calm.
should I go into the Great Works Alliance and start filling out that stuff? I know I started doing it before and
Yes.
got sidetracked,
yes.
but I
So
need to start doing it again.
So here I'm going to share on Great Works Alliance homepage. We read through our mission and the game, and then we have these tiles. So when you click on one of the tiles, you just click on it, left click, and it'll open it up. So this one is our invitation video. That's the empowering video. I'm not going to. Mission 2 is to create your profile. I'm going to click on that one so that you see what that looks like. That's where you're at right now, Carol and Sarah.
That's as far as I got.
Yeah.
I know her as Carol too.
That if you are named incorrectly, you will be inspired to change it. And at the time that I had first changed it, in 1987, I believe, I was doing a meditation group, and we were doing a sound workshop on the sounds, because the universe governs this, the laws govern sound. So we are our name, the sounds of our name, not the letters, the sounds. So it's Lyra, and Lyra. But if you have an E sound, for an example, that is the sound of governed by the law of tension. And we need tension to hold the earth together, but we don't necessarily want it in our life.
Right.
So we don't like, I'm sorry about this, Mary.
No, you're good.
But you have an E sound in your name. So that's going to give you a little more tension in your life.
Tension?
Tension.
She's got tension up,
Yeah.
up to her neck.
I need tension like a hole in the head.
I have no tension. I have zero tension in my life. None.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
is this
go by
gonna carry
Lyra's
on through my whole life until I die?
No, change your name.
Oh, what can I change what's my Hebrew name from
Oh,
Mary
I
to
have no
what?
idea. It's whatever you get named after. See, it's not that it was because I was named after my Hebrew great grandparents. So I mean, their name in I have no idea.
I was named
I'm
after my
not
grandmother.
that Jewish. I'm Jewish, but I don't know that much about it. I don't know Hebrew. I haven't read the Bible. My parents were pretty reformed. Don't know that much about it. Yeah, I'm not really coming from a religious standpoint as I am a
Spiritual.
energetic.
Yeah, quantum.
Right?
Coming from
Bring that quantum back
Yeah.
into play.
yeah.
That's why I go by Lyra Star instead of Lyra Star Miss Jub. You know, the Jub kind of halts you. And I know that. So I'm a star. I'm a blazing star. So I might as well just be Lyra Star.
That's right. I am a star. I am by far, but no one knows it. Okay, name that tune. Where did it come from? And who sang it?
Got me.
You got me.
Fanny. It
Fanny?
was Barbara Streisand
Oh, it
in
was
Fanny.
Barbara Streisand. That's right.
In Fanny.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, that's the trivia for tonight.
So what time, Sarah, would you like
That
to
was
meet
my
on
next
Tuesday?
question. What's good for you? Probably evening.
Mary?
What's that?
Oh, we
Could I-
got it. We got the address.
We'll send it to
We'll
you.
send you the address.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a secure location. It's one of our friends. She's taking the mail right now for us.
Okay.
You know, like Sarah's saying how she was going to Belize for a month. I was planning on being on a road trip for 3 months and then having a place. I'm
Wait,
still on the road.
Okay, wait, back her up. Who's planning on coming to Belize?
No, you were. You were planning on being in Belize for a year. I mean, a month, right?
Well, yeah, 2 weeks here and 2 weeks in Mexico. Yeah, but I came here, was going to stay for 2 weeks. Still here, but I'm still here by choice. You know, the borders were open at that time.
Oh, wow.
I stayed by choice because I wanted to get my residency, and you have to be here for a full year, and you're only allowed to leave for 2 weeks out of that year. Well, I know myself. If I leave the country, I know I wouldn't be back in 2 weeks. I don't go anywhere for 2 weeks. It just doesn't happen. So
Yeah, me neither.
this is not the first time I've taken a trip and been gone years. It's like the third.
Okay.
I want to get this show on the road. I feel that this is a wonderful platform, and what I'm thinking too is that it's an umbrella that's a nested umbrella, right? My organization is an umbrella organization for other outreach programs. There might be other people out there because it takes a lot to actually get something registered. To be able to get an NGO registered can take years and a lot of money.
Yes.
So there might be people that, in lieu of being able to do that, would like to piggyback on this and have their outreach program be part of under the umbrella. They wouldn't even have to have their own NGO, but they may have some money to infuse into it to make it happen. So it will be like a domino effect. So that's what I'm looking for in reaching out to the right people.
There are lots of options. And
Money out there.
it brings up the other point that I wanted to talk about a little bit before going, and that is service meshing. Service meshing has been a term used in computer language and, the digital world. And what we're saying is not only do we want to see that happening in the digital world, but we want to be able to translate it into the community world and the community. So service meshing, because right now you have organizations out there that are supposed to be helping their constituents, supposed to be an advocate or provide other resources and services for their customers and their constituents. But when a customer or constituent comes up and says, well, I need something like this, or, you know, I'm disabled, I need a disability advocate, and you're at a welfare office, the welfare department has no idea how to get in touch with your disability advocate. They're going to say, oh, well, you have to call the ADA, and they're going to then give you a list of all the people that are close to you, and then you have to call those people, and they'll decide whether or not they're going to advocate for you. And that's a travesty to communities in general when you have something like that happen, because they're all of these people who have
Destitute.
certain disabilities or certain other issues, and they need advocacy, but because the connectivity and the meshing is not present, they're left behind. And that's what we're talking about fixing here. And so that was just to elaborate on what we say when we're talking about tech community meshing on the site. And with that, ladies, I think we can call it a night. Mary, we'll talk to you shortly, privately. And Sarah, we will talk to you on Tuesday, hopefully.